Today I was searching through this social media, and I got to know that, I came across this news. Our own Nitin Gadhkari Saab has sent a letter to Finance Minister stating that the GST which is being imposed on the medical policy and the life insurance policy, which is 18%, that should be removed. So today we'll talk about the implications of multiple taxation system in India, especially on the basic essential things. Basically, the Indian government considers the issuance of insurance as a service. So every company which sells insurance to the customers, they are subject to 18% GST. So whether you are taking an insurance for your car or for your vehicle, or you are taking insurance for your medical needs, or the term insurance, that is the life insurance, so 18% GST is being imposed upon that policy itself, the premium. And every time you pay the premium, the 18% GST goes to the government because you are the end user.
And okay, fine.
All right. So keeping that in mind, I think Mr. Gadhkari has sent this letter to the Finance Minister stating that at least GST on these services should be removed.
So I was just reading about it, that what was this letter. So it came to my knowledge that this letter was a response to Nagpur Divisional Life Insurance Corporation Employees Union, according to which they have submitted some kind of money control report, which says that which has submitted that some kind of memorandum to the road and transport ministers, raising concern about problems faced by the insurance industry.
All right.
Okay. So that's why, being a member of parliament, Gadhkari Saab had written to because he is from that constituency.
Yes.
That is why he has written it to Miss Honorable Mrs. Finance Minister, that levying tax on life insurance premium amount to levying tax on the uncertainties of the life.
Obviously, that is one aspect I was going to talk about it.
Right. So he is of the opinion that you want to cover the risk by charging some fine. It is kind of a fine. It is some kind of a tax.
It is a tax.
You are imposing the fine if a person dies,
or if he
if he survives, but he is not able to earn. He might get handicapped, some kind of permanent disability. He might lose his legs or her legs in accident or anything and everything,
and at the
which is possible.
And at the same time, when if you are sick, you are unwell, you have to go to the hospital, because on the medical insurance also there is 18% GST, the premium.
On the medicines also there is, on the bed there is, on the drip there is, any kind of services there is GST.
Yes.
Now the thing is, again in my opinion, the thing is that there is a certain criteria. So now my concern is, why 18% on insurance? It could have been 5%.
No, but my concern is, why a tax on the medical and life insurance policies?
Let's say that they want to give some kind of benefit. GST is going to government from the pocket of a common man.
Today, the medical facilities provided by the government are not that good that everybody could go to the government hospital and avail those services. There is lots and lots of corruption. There is lots and lots of dirtiness. There is unhygienic conditions. The infrastructure is not that good. So most of the poor people, only those people go there and avail those government services. Still, we as everybody, every common man pays the tax directly or indirectly. Even a person who does not come under the criteria of income tax has to pay GST when he purchases even a good car. Alright, because there is a tax levied on that. On a cigarette, there is a tax. When you purchase medical insurance, you purchase for the uncertainty that in case I get sick or I am unwell, I have to go to the hospital and I don't have that kind of money at this point of time. When I go there, the insurance company would pay the amount which they promised as per the insurance policy. So in today's scenario, taking a medical insurance is kind of a necessity for most of the middle class people. You don't have like 10 or 20 lakh rupees in saving at that point of time. So this insurance thing is there, and which is regulated by the Indian government itself through IRDAI. It should come under the basic essential things. This is first. Second, the life insurance is for that uncertainty, obviously, that you pointed out. When somebody dies, the insurance company would make the payment of certain amount to the legal heirs, because most of the people who are paying tax, unlike many other countries, they don't get the benefit of getting pension from the government. So in that situation, they might not be having that kind of savings for the other family members who are dependent upon that person. So taking life insurance again becomes a necessity. So something which is so essential and so necessary for even a middle class person, the government is charging 18% of every premium that he has to pay on top of the other taxes that he is already paying while buying the basic essential things for his home. When you go to the hospital and the hospital, let's say, makes a bill of 5 lakh rupees, and there are other services which are included, the bed, the room, the drips and other things, which are also subject to GST. So in the eventuality that person has to go to the hospital and the premium, the insurance company pays that amount to the hospital. Again, in that bill there is GST. So charging the GST from the end user in the premium itself, I think that should be removed. I feel it like, stealing from the poorest of the poor people for the basic essential thing that they are supposed to take.
Well, I will not say that I completely agree with you. See, the burden can be reduced and government should work on it. I agree. For example, there is a segment of goods in the name of FMCG. So government can work on that they can make some kind of FMCS, right? Fast moving consumer goods or fast moving consumer services, because this is also an end product a consumer can be using or might not be alive for using. So some kind of balance should be made. See, we are one of the most populated country in the world. Population index wise, we are on the top, right? So I do understand that India needs or Indian government needs fund to operate, and tax is the only source, be it a income tax, be it a GST, be it a VAT or whatever kind of tax it is. So if it is important that okay, we cannot make it tax free, then at least they can put it in the lesser amount.
All right, so let's
instead of 18%, they should make it available, they should make it reachable for the poorest of poor people.
But poorest of the poor people are also paying the tax indirectly. For example, a person who is earning 20,000 rupees a month, which is the kind of minimum wages in Delhi itself. In other states, it might be a little on the lower side. But let's say somebody is earning 22,000 rupees. That person would be needing 3-4 things, which are basic essential things. First, he has to travel. Let's say he travels by metro. Metro fare is also subject to the GST. He pays that tax because he is the end user. He doesn't get credit for whatever he is paying. The other companies, let's say for the metro, they have the vendors who are providing them services. So whatever the GST they are collecting, they are also paying some GST to the vendors also. So there is a credit for the intermediaries. You have already paid like 18% previously. So whatever you have paid will be deducted from this one. So the end user is the only person who actually pays. First, second, he would be using toothpaste for his hygiene, oral hygiene. That is again subject to the GST. He might be using certain medicines which are also subject to GST. He might be using the electricity. Alright. So
agree.
Electricity is also subject to the basic tax and the GST.
I agree.
So he is already paying the tax.
I agree on your point that if I am breathing, I am paying tax.
Exactly.
If I am breathing clean air, I am paying again more tax. If I am using water, I am paying tax. If I am using clean water, which is my fundamental right, which is government is not able to provide that, I am paying tax. Right? I agree on to it. But then in such a vast populated country, I am of the opinion that okay, you levy tax, but at least give us some relief. Give a dead man relief.
I'm saying the same thing. So if there is a life insurance premium and that person purchases that life insurance premium just because in the eventuality he dies, his dependent would not suffer because they might not be having any other source of income. The premium is being paid for that eventuality in case of that death or disability.
When you are in the position where you can make certain rules. We can ease up certain things.
I'm not saying there should not be tax. Alright, we are living in a civil society. But we are talking about poorest of the poor people and the middle class family who are mostly affected because they are always the end user of all the services. Almost
And
all the
those
services.
are the people who just sell their votes for 5,000 rupees or maybe 500
500
rupees.
rupees, they might
Yep.
or might not, but that doesn't make, if a person is selling his vote for 500 rupees, that doesn't mean that he should be exploited to that extent.
He wants to be exploited.
It's always a debatable question.
Yes, it is.
But do you think a middle class family person who's earning 50,000 rupees per month is selling his vote for 500 rupees?
They are not casting their votes,
But many people are casting the votes.
and many people are not.
Yes, but that doesn't mean whatever the government is doing is right.
I am not saying that government is doing right. All I am saying is that government can make it right by
There are always ways to correct the wrongs which have been committed.
or
Given that you have the intent to do it.
or still going on. This is a continuous process, right? So if I am getting something, I am earning something, and I can pay for that, and I'm willingly happy paying it because I will receive some kind of benefit from that, or for my family in near future, or maybe when I will be no more. So it should be the subject of choice for a person. Nobody is insisting me that okay, you go and buy insurance from LIC or from Reliance or from Tata AIG, or there are many international companies also now into insurance sector. It is subject to for what I have really worked hard. My family should get the fruits of for the time which I have worked hard. But life insurance, which is a necessity nowadays, and it should be made compulsory, like income tax. If you are not paying income tax, like if you either you just have to file your return, whether it is taxable or not, you should file your return. It is a must kind of thing.
So might be, but
Yes.
you are saying instead of abolishing the entire tax on the medical claim and basically medical insurance premium and the life insurance premium, at least the government should give some relief to the middle class and the poor people who are availing these services by minimizing the tax. Instead of charging 18%,
Yes,
they should
some
go for
kind of
5%.
arrangement can always be made, but government should be willing to do that.
So before we ask our audience their own opinion, what do you think in conclusion? What do you want to say to the audience?
See, I believe that it is true that government is not always right, but then it is also a fact that government is not always wrong, right? A father always has to look forward towards many things when there are many kids. So let's try and understand, and let's try to be rational. That is what I expect from the government also. Try and understand the pain of a common man, a small kid, a widowed wife, single parent, and a parent who has just lost his kid. So, and then think about it.
Alright, so today we tried talking on the implications of GST on the medical insurance premium and the life insurance premium. Consensus is that both these kind of insurance policies are kind of necessity in today's world because most of the medical services are really expensive and the government hospitals and the services are not that good where all the people could go, and in case all the people go there, the infrastructure is not that good to accommodate all the people at the same time, which we have seen already in the COVID times. But the government's willingness to do it matters the most. What do you think, whether the government should basically minimize it or abolish it? So what do you guys think about this question?